Alright, so welcome back for part 2 of our BetNet file here. And what we want to do is we want to start doing some formatting, and we're going to do some things that we haven't done previously. We're going to start off by selecting our title here at the top, and we're going to go ahead and merge and center that across all the columns, just like we've done in the past. We're going to change the font on this to the font Bookman Old Style. You might have to scroll down just a little bit to find it. We're going to change the font size to 36 point. Now we're going to do a couple things to this that we haven't done previously. One, we're going to apply a border to it. So your border button is sitting right here, and if we click the little drop down arrow next to it, it'll open up. We want to add the thick outside border. So this is going to go around the outside of the whole cell. All right. The next thing that we want to do is if we go to the right of that, we've got our fill color. And I want you to go ahead and use a light shade of whatever color you want. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to use green since we're talking money. Okay. And so now we've got this set up. And if you click off now, you'll see part of the border kind of going around the outside of that. Next, we're going to deal with our column headings. And in our column headings, we'll go ahead and select them. We're going to do these kind of by hand this time. In the past, we did cell styles. We're going to do these just by hand. So let's center align them. We're going to make them bold. And then we're going to add another border to these, but I'm going to click the little drop down. I'm going to add a thick bottom border only. So this is going to kind of create a separate section here underneath this. So the next thing I want to do is these column headings are really kind of crushed up against that border up here at the top, and we want to create a little bit of space. To do that, I'm going to right click on row 2, and I'm going to go down to where it says row height. All right, it's currently at 30.75. Let's go ahead and change that to 40 points. So that creates a little bit of space up here. It's just going to make it visually a whole lot nicer. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go grab our line for Yahoo, and we're going to go ahead and add a bottom border to that also. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. So now we kind of have this separate section right in the middle for all of our stocks, and then all of our formulas and everything else down here at the bottom. All right, so let's go format some of our numbers. I want to go ahead and I'm going to select my numbers on the Amazon line that represent money. Now, not all of them are money, so make sure you only select the ones that represent money. Okay, these 5 right here. We're going to format these using the accounting format. I've got a little hashtag here, which means that I need to auto-fit my column with. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the same format to my totals, because all of these are money amounts. So once I've got that done, I want to go back and I'm going to select my other money amounts that are on the page. That would be all these numbers right here. And I'm going to use the comma format. Okay. One thing I do want you to notice is when we apply the comma format, you're going to see anything that's a negative will be inside of parentheses. That's what that means. So let's go to our bottom section. We're going to select again all of our money numbers down here at the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and apply the comma format to that also. Now, the last set of numbers that we have are these numbers over here on the right, and these are all percentages. So we're going to select all these numbers. We're going to use the percentage style on them. So I'm just going to click on the percent style button. And then we want to go ahead and add some decimal places. So I'm going to use my increase decimal button and add 2 decimal places. Right. Now, we do have a little bit of a kind of a mess down here where all of our numbers are kind of crunched up together. And I want to space this out. I'm going to do that by changing the row height for row 12. So just like we did before, we're going to right click on 12. We're going to go to row height. We're going to change this to 24. And then hit enter. And so this is going to create just a little bit of space so that we kind of have like a separate section for all of our average, highest, and lowest numbers at the bottom. Okay. So things are looking pretty good. The next thing that we want to do is we want to add something called conditional formatting. we're going to apply conditional formatting to our numbers over here in the gain and loss column. So I'm just going to select my numbers. You have a button up at the top that says conditional formatting, and we're going to create a new rule. Now what conditional formatting does is it allows us to apply formatting that only gets applied to cells that meet a certain criteria. So you set a standard, and if it reaches that standard, then it applies the formatting. So we're almost always going to choose the option to format only cells that contain. All right, so it says cell value, you're going to leave that alone. Right now it says between, we're going to change that to less than. Okay? So if we only want negative numbers, we want them to all be numbers that are less than 0. So that's our criteria. Excel's going to look in each cell, see what the result is. If it's less than 0, then it's going to apply whatever formatting we tell it to apply. So I'm going to go click on my Format button. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my font color. That's this right here. We're going to make that white. And we're going to go ahead and choose the bold option. You'll see why here in a moment. Then we're going to choose our fill color, and we're going to make that red. In accounting, red numbers are always bad things. So we're going to apply red formatting here. So when we hit OK, now you'll see you've got your white text with a red background. And when we hit OK, it now rearranges these things. And so you can see that you've got the red background on your negative numbers. So the next thing we want to do is we want to put all this stuff in order. And to do that, I'm simply going to go in here and select, starting with my column headings. I'm going to select my column headings and my data. Now don't select your totals or any of the functions at the bottom. We're just rearranging this stuff and putting it in the order that we want it to be in. You have a button over on the right that says Sort and Filter. If you click on that, if you choose Sort A to Z or Z to A, it's going to sort by the first column. In this case, we want to actually sort by the last column. So I'm going to go use a custom sort. Make sure that the check mark is on up here where it says My Data Has Headers. We're going to click on the Sort By button. We're going to sort by the gain or loss. And we're going to sort it so that the largest amount is on top. We want to see which one did the best. And so when we hit OK, it rearranges them, and now they're in the order with the biggest percentage gain at the top, and our two negative numbers obviously are at the bottom. While I'm looking at this, I notice that some of my columns probably need to be auto-fit. They're not quite wide enough. So like column A, I need to auto-fit that. And column J probably could be auto-fit just a little bit to make that wider. So we're just about done. What we need to do at this point is we need to create a chart. And so I'm going to select my stock names, and then I'm going to hold down my control key, and I'm going to select the current cost. So this is going to allow us to kind of create a pie chart where we can see what stocks are, kind of controlling all of our money. So let's go to Insert. We're going to do a pie chart. We'll go ahead and do a 3D pie chart this time because we don't have too many categories. Just going to click on that. I'm going to grab this pie chart and I'm going to drag it down underneath my numbers, right down here. And really the only thing we're going to change on this is the chart title. So usually what you do is just take into consideration what the column was I selected. So these are the current costs. Okay. Now you'll add a header to this before you go to print out. But when you go to print, you're going to make sure that you deselect your chart. All right. I'll go into my print preview. We're going to change this to landscape. So in the past we went to page layout, but you can also do this from print preview. I can just go to portrait orientation, change that to landscape. Check down at the bottom and make sure it still fits on one page. When you're done, you're ready to print.